So my elitist Gen Z, remember that now this is the first video of this year. As you know that I've numbered my videos, because actually you'll call my videos verbal books, because I discovered in my research that people are no longer reading the books, not the Bible nor the Quran. They just read the books when they're in school because they're expecting examination and grades to help them get jobs. But after that, they don't read the books anymore. I have to reintroduce myself again, that my name is Professor Dr. Kimathi, a professor in political science, governmental studies, and ethics. I'm now rebranded as a rogue professor because I'm teaching things that are very new. For example, I'm saying today's professors are as useless people. To stand before a professor of these days, you are standing before a parrot. They parrot to you things which, when you come to the ground, you don't see them. They teach you that you get a job, but that job is not a real job that, like we in our times when we were studying, we knew 100% that when we pass, we shall get jobs. This educational system is collapsed. Why? Because it is gambling, like any other gambling. And the Bible, not the Bible, the Quran especially, actually says that you desist from gambling. When I say desist from gambling, I'm taken to mean that don't gamble with education. Do your own education. And as a professor, I am here to lead you through the way. And I'm very pleased because in my videos, some of them, if you look at them, they have 13,000 viewers. In my life as a professor, I never taught such a big crowd like that. So I know I'm going on the right direction. When you're a professor, you are gauged, but you are bringing in funds to the university. And how do I bring funds to myself? By actually doing a side job, by reading such books like The Cure for Diseases, and demonstrate that yes, you can cure even cancer. And those who want to see that, they come to me. And that way, I bring funds to myself, not to the university, so that my research at educating in political science, governmental studies, is sustained that way. I don't need any help from anybody. I don't need. My passion is teaching the young men. Why? Because I've grown up teaching. When I was in standard 1, that's a lifetime. Some of your called grandfathers were not born. Let me tell you, there were very scarce teachers. So that boys, especially boys, I don't remember girls coming to teach us, boys of grade 3 would come and teach us in grade 1. And when we got to grade 3, we would teach those ones in grade 1. And when we get to grade 5, teach those in grade 3. That was how difficult it was to study. The teachers were not there. Now there are so many teachers that there are no jobs for them. But actually, it's not because there is no job for teachers. It is because they have, when I say they have, I mean the one the Kikuyu call Murogi wa Kagogo. Which crow? Or crow which? I'll discuss that later on. But my point here, as now I'm teaching, when I would welcome the first class, the freshers, the first time when they come to the university, I would pose them a question. Why do we call politics as a science? Why do we teach politics as a science when actually it is a liberal arts subject? Why is it called a science? And many could not answer, because I wanted them to know from the beginning that politics is taught as a science because you can make rules out of the observation of history in politics. What am I saying? Let me try to explain it this way. Because when I'm here, I'm also looking, later on I look at my own videos to see whether I was teaching effectively or not teaching effectively. Actually, I brought myself to reevaluate myself as a teacher. That is number one. So it is for myself that I'm giving this. I'm the first student of myself. So I look later on whether I'm actually teaching effectively. So this time I'm trying to say that politics is a science because science is the art of observation. When you take a microscope to look at something which your naked eye could not see, that is science. The microscope is a scientific instrument to help you see what the ordinary person cannot see. So the ordinary person will rely on you to be his eyes to see what is happening. So in the same way, when we are teaching political science, you should rely on us to tell you what you should see in the field of politics. Do I have an example? Yes, I should have an example. Because, you see, when you are teaching, you are like building a house. And you don't build a house without, first of all, having a model in your mind, which now you improve on it to have your own model. So, in my case, I'm emulating the way Jesus used to teach. How do I emulate that? By actually remembering what he said, what it is said about. He did not say it himself, but it is written in the Bible what he said, and not what they observed about him, so that you can observe the same thing about me. The Bible says that Jesus will not open his mouth to teach. No, not unless he had a parable, a similitude to use to make you understand. So I have a parable here, or an observation that I want to draw your attention to. Because now this year is, I can call it the year of campaign, or started serious campaigns in Kenya. For you, those who are not in Kenya, I am from Kenya. And in 2027, there is a general election that will take place using the democratic method of legitimizing the one who should be over Kenya for another 5 years. As for me, I say that is democracy. It is not something to go by. Why? Because what happens is that if it started well, it has been taken over by demons of people. People who are actually servants of the devil, but wearing the skin of men. That is my stand. And for me, I'm talking about being a president, such president, but by proxy of one of you, the elitist Gen Z. So I'm teaching you so that if you pass my examination, then I'll choose you and tell all those who will have known me to be a better politician than the ones in the field. And then I'll tell them, if you choose this one, you have chosen me. When you see this one, you have seen me. That is what is called presidency by proxy. I'll be the king, they'll be the president. What am I trying to say? I'm telling you to observe one thing, that I have come up. Now 2 years ago is when I started now coming up in public. And for those 2 years, I have been introducing myself, saying things so that you can see whether what I say will happen, and it has been happening 100%. This is why I'm saying, look at my videos, and I number my videos so that you can see. When I told President Ruto, on camera like I'm now talking, remove this man Gachagua, otherwise you'll die and he'll take presidency. He gave me ear and actually removed Gachagua. That one you can see because I talked it in Kiswahili. I was just starting now to come in public. Number 2, observe that if you can describe me or give me a name, you'd call me Kenyatta, the lamp of Kenya, so that you can see politics through what I'm teaching. You see politics by my open your eyes. I'll give you an example. Kenyatta was before me, and his mission was to liberate Kenya from the yoke of the red man. That time you could see clearly, this red man, this black man. This one is a worm hitting this one. So he was trying to kill the worm by encouraging young men to go to the bush and causing mayhem, and he succeeded. But how did he start? He started by going to Europe and observing the European way of living. He even married Ada. I think she's Ada, the first white The second wife of Kenyatta was a Briton, actually from our very well-up family. How did he do it? He was employed in the school at Githunguri. He was the principal person at Githunguri Teachers Training College. Who are the teachers whom he picked? Ochieng Oneko was there, even though a Jaluo. He was a teacher. And later on, he supported him. Bio Koinange was there. Although Bio Koinange was not arrested, he ran away before it happened, so that if Kenyatta died, Bio Koinange would continue the struggle for independence. Gechoro, who became the minister in his first government. Kiano was a teacher there. You can see he was using his teacher. He used his teachers to actually form a government and actually to talk about his vision, so that they supported him to be the president of Kenya. In the same way, the British themselves, they would pick, in fact, 99% of their people who were at Alliance High School. So Alliance, people like Ben Geddy, people like Ben Geddy was famous because he was the GSU commander those days. They were very powerful. People like Hinga, he was the first black commissioner, and he was a graduate therefrom. That means Alliance High School. There is Kanyotu, who worked with me very much. Kanyotu actually helped me get the passport and an ID in Kenya, and he did a very good job for me. So from Alliance, you can see the elites. Even Jojo, who was the Attorney General, was actually from Alliance. What I'm trying to say is that actually you get an institution, and from the students, you actually form a party. That's what I'm teaching. This is what I've been teaching, and nobody would listen to me. They would pick every hyena from every direction and bring them to be in the government. Look at Mwalimu Nyerere. His students were actually the ones who inherited his being president. So, in the same way, those students that I'm teaching political science and governmental studies and ethics, I'm making them into an organization which is actually boundless, without borders. Why is it? Because I'm fighting this lie called democracy, which I'm calling democracy. And this is why you find me praying for Ruto, because he's serving that in that direction. He is trying to show completely that democracy cannot work. And when Gachagua brings in Kalonzo Musyoka, brings in my fellow Professor Matiang'i, who talks as if he has a sweet potato in his mouth. He cannot even explain to himself at all. But he was brought by Uhuru Kenyatta to head his party. And here, Gachagua has his party. And these other guys, everybody has a party. Even Mother Karua has a party. And now they think they can join together and remove my king, de facto King Ruto. It's a very good scenario.